What's poppin', world? I hope all is well. Thanks for tuning in. Today, I want to talk about a dynamic when dealing with women that many men just don't get. Now, it's a known fact that men like to compete, but I'm going to say this. Men should never compete with other men for a woman. That's right. Men should never compete with other men for a woman. Now, in many cases, if you run into an attractive woman, chances are she's going to be possibly talking to other guys are in their DMs, other guys are in their inbox, so on and so forth, right? But the truth of the matter is this: you don't know what you don't know. So if she don't put it out there, I say go ahead and give her the benefit of the doubt. Now, I'm going to play a clip that demonstrates as to why this conversation needs to be had. Here's a woman who thinks that men should compete with other men to get women. After we watch this clip, I'm going to break down. I'm going to give you 3 reasons as to why this should never happen. Let's get into this.
When it comes to dating, why don't men like being in competition with other men? Soon as a man finds out women has options, he bow out. Women are constantly competing with each other. So you guys see the statement from Latoya Hill. That's what she said. I see Ricky shaking his head already.
All right, guys. You saw that, you heard that. So she feels like men should be okay with being in competition with each other in regards to getting a woman. Shout out to the LaPeep Network. They put out a lot of great content over there. Go over there, check their videos out. Go ahead and subscribe to their channel. Now, getting back to this. I'm going to give you 3 reasons as to why men should never compete with other men to get a woman. Reason number 1. We want and need to know who the daddy is. If this woman gets pregnant, right, or if she has a child, we need to know, is that our child or is that someone else's child? Whenever you have women out here dealing with multiple men at a time, having sex with multiple men at a time, chances are, if she gets pregnant, you are not going to be 100% sure on who the daddy is. This is why shows like The Maury Show, no pun intended, The Maury Show and other paternity test shows are popular, right? And the views are through the roof. It's because this is going on in many cities in many states. As to where I would argue every city and every state, where you got men out here taking care of children that are not theirs. Not knowing though, not knowing. They don't know that that's not their kid, but they are taking care of someone else's children. They think it's their children, but they may be dealing with a woman who had several guys at a time or more than one guy at a time. This is another reason as to why God orders us to get married before we have children, right? Have that one mother, one father, you know, that's y'all's child, right? You want to create godly offspring. But once again, that is why it's important for the woman to deal with one man at a time. When there are several guys in the picture or more than one guy in the picture, many things can happen, right? You can be dealing with children who are not yours. That is the number 1 reason. That is number 1 reason why you should not compete with other men for a woman. Secondly, when dealing with a woman who is dealing with more than one guy, or when competing with other men for a woman, it can be dangerous, right? There are a lot of guys out here who will kill you, who will be violent towards you, who will do whatever they can do behind a woman, right? Or to get to a woman, or to win a woman over, or to win a woman, right? It can be dangerous. Remember back in June, rapper, I think his name was Trouble, right? Got killed in a home invasion in Georgia. I'll pull this picture up. In Georgia, as he was staying at, here's the guy, here's Trouble, right? He was at his quote-unquote lady friend's house. And apparently another guy who she was dealing with came over. And, you know, he came in, he shot up Trouble, and the rest of their story is history, right? But guys, you do not want to compete with other men for a woman. This can be dangerous. And that's one out of thousands of cases where other men were violent towards another man behind a woman. This happens every day. Men get shot, stabbed, fights, jump, whatever, harassed in many ways behind a woman, right? Because there's a competition going on of some sort. Men, it is not worth it. This can be very dangerous. It is not worth it to do it behind a woman. Last but not least, 9 times out of 10, if you are competing with other men or another man for a woman, you have already lost the battle, right? You have already lost the battle if you got to compete for her. What sense does it make to spend all that time getting dressed and spend all that time traveling to a job interview when you know somebody else has already taken the job, right? What sense does that make, right? That's foolish, right? You getting dressed, you're traveling hour here, hour that way, whatever. When you know somebody else already has the job, why would you go to that job interview? Why would you go to that job interview when you know somebody else already got the job, right? That's crazy. Guys, do not compete with other men for a woman. Now, for every 5 men that a woman is talking to, right? For every 5 men, there's one guy who doesn't have to take her on all the dates. There's a guy, he doesn't have to spend all the money. He doesn't have to do those things. All he has to do is give her a little bit of attention on the phone and give her some attention in person, and she's gonna give up the goods. He doesn't have to do all the things all those other guys are doing, right? This guy right here is the guy she truly desires. All those other guys out there, they spending their money, they're going on dates, they taking her on dates, they're doing all these things to wow her, to surprise her, to flatter her, whatever. But there's one guy she's dealing with out of that group. He ain't got to do none of that, right? He's going to get it all. He does not have to do all of that. How do I know? Because for majority of my life, I've been that guy. I didn't have to do all those things, right? All I had to do was give some attention on the phone, whether it be texting, talking, right? And show up. And it was go time. I've been that guy, right? And why is that? I had them at hello. Many women I dealt with in my life, I had them at hello. Hey, how you doing? Da, 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 da. Right? Because guess why? I had already done the work in the back end, right? I was already standing on a firm foundation. I had already had certain accomplishments that they were just into, that they admired, right? I didn't have to do all this stuff, all the bells and whistles, all the dates, spend all the money, do all this wild stuff. No, I didn't have to do all that, right? Just a little attention here, a little attention there, right? Show up, and it was go time, right? Didn't have to do all that stuff. So guys, that's why I tell you to continue to become the best version of yourself, so you don't have to jump through all these hoops, so you don't have to compete with these other guys. You should not have to do all that. Just make sure you continue to become the best for yourself, and make sure you stand on a firm foundation, right? Make sure you're standing on a firm foundation. You should not have to constantly prove yourself to get the attention of a woman. You shouldn't have to constantly prove yourself to this woman for her attention, right? If she's attracted to you, you guys have compatibility, you have a connection, you have chemistry, that should win over her attention. Now, everything else should fall into place after that, right? After that, it's called being a man and taking care of responsibilities. And she should be all on you. You shouldn't have to jump through all these hoops and compete with other guys. Nah, you shouldn't have to do all that. That's why I say continue to become the best version of yourself. You should not have to constantly prove yourself to get her attention, right? That should not happen. You should not have to do that. Now, like I said, do not compete with other men for women. Do not compete with other men for women. Like I stated earlier in this video, women have tunnel vision when they have the man they want. I'm going to say it again. Women have tunnel vision when they have the man they want. They don't have to, see all these other guys and constantly think about it. See, men and women are different. A man can have the woman he wants, and yet he's still gonna notice other women out here. Oh yeah, she bad, she bad, she bad. She want me, she want me. Women are different. When a woman has the man she wants, right, and all is going well, of course, she has tunnel vision. She has tunnel vision. Other guys are invisible. Other guys are invisible. So like I said, do not compete with other men for a woman. If you're competing, you've already lost. You've already lost. But that's all I got for you guys. Like the video. Share the video. I could have this wrong. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Also, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. And like I said, guys, do not compete with other men for a woman. Continue to become the best version of yourself. If she have you compete with other guys, let her go. Keep it moving. There's many women out here. In most cities, the women outnumber the men by a long shot. You don't have to compete with other men. If she wants you, she's going to let that be known early on. She's going to have tunnel vision if you are the one for her. Right? She's going to have tunnel vision. But once again, that's all I got for you guys. And remember, keep God first. Keep God first. I love you all. Be blessed.